So the Tech Hour is something I started to try and revitalise the UK Tech Users Group, but I soon found that going international was more important and more interesting. At first, I thought it would be something like an office hour that beginners might like to come into, but now it seems to have taken a more expert turn, if you like. And one of the things that's happened recently is that I've become more involved in the blind math list and the visually impaired programmers list. And we had a session a couple of months ago with Jana Schroeder, who's an applicant for the Holman Prize. That was really interesting. And I've been learning a lot out of what's really going on there, if you like. And I'm also beginning to see that there are connections and also disconnections in our community. And I see that as a bit of a problem. And that is something that maybe I feel as though I ought to be able to contribute to. So that was my motivation in setting this up. And a bit more of community feeling and a bit more of knowing how we can share information more efficiently. I don't like that word efficiently, effectively. Is the sort of outcome I'm looking at for this meeting. I'm retired now. I used to work at the Open University, which has got a lot of people, a lot of specialists, a lot of disabled students, and a lot of people who are experts in educational technology. So I learned something about math disability there. And I was the LaTeX officer there. So I'll stop and pass on to somebody else who can introduce themselves.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm Nelson Beebe. I've been associated with Tech and LaTeX since the late 70s. I've worked on DVI drivers and bibliographic software and many other things outside tech, but those are the tech-related things.
You might mention TV Raman. I know you always do.
Oh yes, TV Raman is somebody, very interesting guy to meet. In the 1990s, he did his doctoral dissertation at Cornell University and won the ACM Doctoral Dissertation of the Year Award. And the title of the thesis is Aster, System for Technically Enhanced Readings. Aster also happened to be the name of his guide dog. And it was amusing that when he was a really good speaker and could remember back many slides. He said, if we go back about 10 slides here, and he put up the slide and he continued to talk, and people would clap. And Aster would stand up thinking it was time to go. So
we might be asking you to channel a bit of TV Raman during, well, it would be nice if you could. You're our strongest connection with this major contributor.
I'll go next. I'm Rob Beezer. I founded the Pretext project, and we're able to make very accessible versions of output in a variety of formats. So I'm interested in people finding out more about Pretext, getting input from people who have ideas about how we can do things better.
Yeah, my name is Philip. I've been using LaTeX and BibTeX for about 30 years, mainly for writing scientific papers, which I guess is one of the biggest uses of it. And I'm interested in keeping it alive and learning about new things.
Shall I go next? My name is Doug McKenna. I am a software developer and a mathematical artist who took it upon himself to rewrite tech from scratch. And I've published an electronic book on the iPad that uses my own tech interpreter. And one of the things I'm interested in is doing an end run around PDF in order to take advantage of the internal tech data structures to do interesting things in an ebook situation. So I'm interested in how, I know very little about accessibility, and I'm just here to soak up some information, but it strikes me that there's a lot of information in the tech data structures that would help accessibility with respect to math, that are kind of lost when those internal data structures are sort of extruded out into just boxes and characters and PDF. So that's why I'm participating today.
So let me reintroduce myself. My name is Alexei. I'm mostly a user of tech. Well, have been mostly a user of tech until a colleague of mine asked me a question like, do I know how to convert tech to Braille sort of automatically? And I thought that surely there is some kind of a tech to Braille command in Linux, and it'll be all very easy. So it took me a little while to figure out that this is actually an unsolved problem with a lot of partial solutions, but it's still an unsolved problem. And this is essentially what brought me to Pretext, this realization that there are some technical issues in converting pure tech code into Braille format. So I'm not by any means a specialist in Pretext, and yeah, so there I definitely defer to Rob.
I'm Alex Jordan. I teach math at Portland Community College. I'm a tech user for a long time now. It's just been for course materials. For maybe 5 years now, I've been very interested in Rob's Pretext project. And one of, I guess, my main contribution to that is integration with WebWork, an online homework system. But also Portland Community College has been a big supporter of web accessibility for a long time, had strong support for it. And I just try to continue assisting with development of Pretext in the ways that I have time for. And I have not followed along with all of Rob and Alexei's recent Braille related work, but I thought by coming here today, I'd learn what I've been missing.
So that's Arthur. Arthur is a long time. Arthur is the one of us that has known Nelson the longest, I think. And Kelly is one of the younger people here, and she's interested in accessibility. Do you want to speak for yourself, Kelly?
Sure, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm a research fish biologist within NOAA in the US federal government, and I use R Markdown and LaTeX on a daily basis to write reports. And the reports need to be accessible, and I did not know how to do that. And so Googling and different things have led me to this group. And currently what I produce is about, I don't know, like a quarter of the way there, which is better than 0 of the way, but I would like to continue to make the documents more accessible and then get that information out to the R users who are using R Markdown and Bookdown and other software such as.
So the R community has got a distribution of tech called Tiny Tech, and the developer of that is coming next week, thanks to Kelly inviting him. So that's the third community, which is the R community. You've got quite a slick system for producing multiple outputs from the same Markdown file. So they've gone the Markdown route. And what I've read is that from one output, you can produce Beamer slides, HTML pages, printed output, and that sort of thing. So now we've got 3 groups. We've got the traditional LaTeX, we've got Pretext, and we've got Markdown, and we're all focused on getting accessibility. Okay. Can I ask you just to say a few words about yourself, David, and your involvement with MathJax? I think it's a very important technology. Oh, and I should mention that you're being recorded.
I see the red dot. Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't be here earlier. I had another meeting I was in until just a few minutes ago. I'm David Cervone. I am a math professor at Union College, part-time anyway, and the rest of my time I do MathJax development. MathJax is a JavaScript library for presenting math in web pages and ebooks and other places. And it has an accessibility component that is mostly the brainchild of Volker Sorge, who is not able to be here or might have been here earlier, I'm not sure. So we have the ability to voice mathematics, well, at least produce the string to be voiced and have a expression walker that you can step through and have it voice a piece of the expression at a time, or colorize the mathematics for people with dyslexia and so forth. So those are some tools that we have. MathJax takes input in text format as well as MathML and another one called ASCII Math, and generates output in HTML and or and it's modular so that one could create other input or output formats. Does that cover what you're looking for, Jonathan?
Yeah, very good. So